Was using its birthright project for the relocation and procreation of young Jews from across the world to Israel. The idea is to convince young Jews to intermingle with their peers, possibly get married and move to Israel, and maybe even in illegal settlements. The Israeli Birthright Program is a 10-day, all-expense-paid excursions to Israel made by Jewish organizations inside and abroad, especially for Jews across the world. The Birthright movement has over the past 2 decades brought in more than 600,000 Jews from over 60 countries. Many of those who go on the Birthright trip cannot afford it, but it is paid in full by Israeli organizers. The organization has 3 major sources of funding: the Israeli regime, wealthy donors, and Jewish federations across North America. The Birthright's mission, according to the organization, is to diminish the growing division between Israel and Jewish communities around the world, strengthen the sense of solidarity among world Jewry, and strengthen participants' personal Jewish identity and connection to the Jewish people and, of course, Israel and its policies. According to analysts, the Birthright Project is a fabricated entitlement that exonerates the policy of ethnic cleansing upon which the Jewish entity was founded on back in 1948.
To begin with, all what Israel is presenting, all what this propaganda is pushing for, is not only a violation of human rights, which is a true violation and a true affront on this indigenous people of Palestine that lived there for so long, but this is a true affront on Judaism as well. And what is happening is that this birthright movement or activities are taking ignorant people, misleading them, people from Jewish descent, misleading them into this political movement, which is in total contrast to what Judaism, to what our grandparents and the grandparents of all of these people believed in for thousands of years. This is embarrassing, and the Jewish religion is being transformed into nationalism and into this war and into this conflict, which is ridiculous, and this is very sad.
According to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, however, the Birthright Project has become an identity for Israel.
Come visit Israel, come stay in Israel, come make aliyah to Israel. This is your land.
Birthright, birthright, that's our plan. No free trips on stolen land.
This, however, has not stopped many Israelis from leaving the tour in protest at the treatment of the occupation of the West Bank. They believe that organizers were refusing to tell the truth when asked critical questions.
We are here outside of the headquarters of the Birthright Israel Foundation as young Jews who return the birthright for justice in Palestine.
When the IDF places an assault rifle against my chest, that is not the story you will hear at Birthright.
We will not allow Palestinians to be trampled on, to be erased by this birthright trip.
I myself went on a birthright trip, and after the trip, I felt so betrayed and I felt so underserved by what was promised to me. And it became more and more clear to me that it was another tool that was meant to manipulate what Judaism meant to us as young Jews living in the diaspora.
To any young Jews listening who are considering going on Birthright, I urge you to stand stronger than I did and say no.
And that's really what drove me to seek out a community that really did serve the questions that I was.
Eligibility requirements for the tour include possession of one Jewish grandparent and the ability to pass an interview without raising suspicions as to the potential ulterior motives for participation in the project, such as determination to use it as a platform for pro-Palestinian activism. The program also emboldens young Jews to claim Israel and Greater Israel and pushes for support for young Jews for Israel at an early age by using psychological triggers and mixing them with support for Israel. The idea of strengthening solidarity among world Jewry, personal Jewish identity, and Israel's connection to the Jewish people through trips to Israel is based on conflation of Judaism with Zionism. Judaism is a religion. Political Zionism is a movement based on the belief that Jews have a right to settle in modern-day Israel to the exclusion of the indigenous Palestinian people.
We, birthright is bound by bureaucratic regulations, and they will not, cannot allow us to speak with Palestinians, and we cannot get a complete picture without, unless we leave birthright. So that's what we're doing. So,
the birthright trip is unjust because what is happening is it's on two folds. First of all, what it's doing is it's bringing people that they intend to brainwash and to push their propaganda to support and to have people support this occupation of Palestine, the state of Israel. What is happening is they're bringing these young people into this beautiful Israel and showing them the beautiful part of it. They would never show them what is happening, what Israel is doing to the Palestinian people. They will not show them what Israel is doing to the truly religious anti-Zionist community in Jerusalem or in other cities in Israel. They will not show them the other side of the coin. This is considered true propaganda when they do all of this to push their agenda, to have everyone support Israel. Again, they don't show them what is happening to the Palestinian people. They don't show them what is happening to the religious Jewish people, what the Israeli government is oppressing the Jewish people. They don't even show them the true religion of Judaism, where you find that the truly religious people of Israel refuse and condemn and oppose the state of Israel.
A recent study by the U.S. Brandeis University showed that 52% of Birthright Israel participants feel more connected with Israel than where they reside. This while only 32% feel somewhat connected to Israel after the trip. In fact, some 90% of Israelis understand that the American Jewish community is a strategic asset for Israel in multiple fields, from economy and security to moral values, according to the Ruderman Family Foundation.
Are the reason the world doesn't change. And no, listen. Come on. No, and guess what? Go to Palestine. Just go. Because guess what? What's going to happen? You're going to get killed, you're going to get raped.
That's why they're recording, Nick.
You came under birthright auspices, you just walk away from the group? It's wrong. It's just not right.
So essentially, a group of us who are on a birthright trip have been spending the last 8 days really trying to participate, really having a transformative experience here in Israel. But we've been really disappointed on a number of occasions about the way that birthright has either completely erased the effects of the occupation or avoided our questions or spun things in a way that we felt were extremely biased.
Israel uses the birthright trips to further connect Jews from around the world with Israel. In many cases, this promotes more loyalty to the regime in Tel Aviv rather than the countries they live in, as there is a growing number of Jewish activists who would like to see the Palestinian issue being raised in these birthright trips. Many are questioning these trips in the first place, asking why they have been going on at the expense of the indigenous people.